welcome to the NetSuite Partner Tournament of Champions, sponsored and hosted by the Vested Group. We're excited that you're here today. We've got 4 final contestants. We've worked our way down, narrowed our way down from 16 to 4. And first I want to introduce our commentators, Johnny Zielinski and Ross Cortez. And guys, I'm going to hand it off to you right now. Take it away, guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As Chris so graciously announced us, we are here, myself and Johnny, and we are here for the NetSuite Partner Tournament of Champions. That's the finale 4. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There is an E on the end of that. There will be no copyright infringement on our book.
Gotcha.
So, like Chris said, we've seen a lot of exciting competition. We've seen scanners. We've seen month-end closing, and here we are down to our top 4. Johnny, got to think that this is the culmination of these people's existence on this earth.
I'm telling you, Ross, we talked about this last week for a moment. These people have been working their entire lives to get to this moment. I'm saying whoever wins in these 2 rounds are moving on to the finale, which is awesome. I'm saying they've been grinding since little kids. They were born for this.
Absolutely, Johnny. One of our panelists today reached out to me and said if they do not come home with the trophy, their spouse had told them not to bother coming home at all.
And who can blame them, Ross?
Absolutely. First up today, we've got another exciting matchup between Floqast and Celigo.
Baby.
And first up is Floqast. In round 1, we learned Floqast's first office was a house in Los Angeles that was formerly a weed dispensary.
Tragically destroyed. We've been over this.
At the time, there was about 10 employees crammed into the space, and all but 1 were guys. Sounds like some of your college parties, Johnny. You might think that poor woman, that poor woman, but she kept all the boys in line, helped build their amazing customer success team, and now manages a team made up of mostly women.
Yeah, I'm actually proud to say that first woman was my mother, Elizabeth Douglas Zielinski, so that's pretty awesome.
I highly doubt that that's true, but I hope if it is that you can keep no preferential treatment for Floqast today. She's no longer your mother, she's a contestant.
Will do, Ross.
Floqast. Today, we're going to see Floqast acting as a command center for the close, turning your Excel checklist into an interactive workflow tool, automating the most manual parts of the reconciliation process, like managing and matching and TB tie-outs. Now, hundreds of NetSuite accounting teams are able to leverage the visibility and automation Floqast provides to reduce the days it takes to close by 30 minutes. And without further ado, today for Floqast, Thomas Grigley.
Hello. My name is Thomas Grigley. I am the channel manager at Floqast and very excited to be in the final 4 here in the Vested Group's Partner Tournament of Champions. Thank you very much for hosting. So just in case any of you weren't at the previous sessions, Floqast provides month-end close management software. And what we're doing is helping accounting teams shorten the number of days it takes to get through the close and help streamline the audit as well. So to summarize, we're really just helping to make it so that the month-end close process does not have to suck. Today in my presentation, what I'll show you is a quick recap of how we beat Verge Ventures in session 1 2 weeks ago, then go on to another very quick recap of how we beat out Avalara in session 2, probably the upset of the entire tournament there. And then I'll go and focus most of the time on Floqast's Flux analysis module. So before I get into functionality and features, I do think it's important, just in case you weren't here last week, to really highlight the fact that Floqast is a company that is made up of a bunch of accountants. So it's actually, we've taken the NetSuite ecosystem by storm because we're not just technologists over here that are building software based off of developers. We're people who have actually lived the problem. Our founders were Big 4 auditors and deferred revenue accountants. They were once whipped by the month-end close, and they wanted to create a way to free accountants of that burden. So this is important because we build software that accounting teams can begin using and adopting very quickly. We're not just building software that is hard for accounting teams to implement. It's built in a way that works the way they're used to working, but just helps to really upgrade those processes and automate the more manual, time-consuming components of it. So in week 1, what I went over was how Floqast acts as a month-end command center for the close process. So how we're actually doing this, what this means is we're acting as an interactive workflow tool to centralize all close procedures. In short, we're upgrading an Excel checklist or Google Sheet. We're also connecting disparate systems to automate one of the more manual parts of the reconciliation process, which is trial balance tie-outs. By connecting with NetSuite and pulling those trial balances in and integrating with Excel on the reconciliation side, we're able to automate that for accounting teams. Lastly, We're also centralizing all supporting documentation for the month-end close. So that includes things like prepare and reviewer sign-offs to time and date stamps, any review notes or PDFs and explanations that essentially are telling people the why behind why the numbers are the way they are. And the reason this is important is not only for controllers and process owners during the review process to have information at their fingertips, but also when it comes around to the audit, a big ROI for Floqast is being able to help shorten the audit and reduce costs on that side. To summarize, Jonathan Hardy at Viewpoint does say that Floqast is a simple yet effective way to ensure your close deadlines are complete, your balance sheet reconciles, and you have all support in one place, and that place is the cloud. In week 2, we beat out Avalara because I showed the audience how Floqast AUTOREC actually works and what that means. Floqast AUTOREC is helping clear transactions, which is the most manual, time-consuming part of the reconciliation process. You could think of NetSuite's bank rec module, but Floqast AUTOREC expands that. We're able to do it for intercompany accounts, credit card accounts, clearing accounts, accruals, any 2 data sets. In short, Floqast AUTOREC is able to help automate the clearing of those transactions. The accounting manager over at AmeriHome Mortgage actually credits Floqast with helping her automate the clearing of over 100,000 transactions a month. So prior to something like Floqast AUTOREC, having to clear 100,000 line items of transactions would happen in Excel via either color coding or VLOOKUPs. And with Floqast, we're able to automate that in minutes, which is saving days or weeks after their close process. Now today, the rest of the presentation, we have a few minutes left. I'm going to focus on Floqast's FLUX analysis module. You might ask yourself, what the FLUX? Well, FLUX analysis is short for fluctuation analysis. Sometimes this is called variance analysis. And what's happening here is we're essentially just comparing account balances from a current period to a given prior period. So that might be a current month versus a prior month. So this process is going to include dollar or percentage changes. Accounting team's going to have to note if items with material differences exist, and then provide written explanations for why these numbers actually changed. And as we were building FLUX analysis, and the reason why we built it was because we recognized that accounting teams, a lot of them weren't even performing this task because the close either took too long or this process in general took too long. And a reason for that is because there are limitations with the ERP. The way ERPs perform FLUX, there's no way to add written explanations in the ERP. So what ends up happening is accounting team members are forced to export that data into Excel. They're forced to manually identify any material variances and manually perform those calculations, and then manually add explanations, and more importantly, monitor those ending balances, because if any adjusting journal entries are made, like a topside journal entry, that could have them have to restart the process. And what our accounting team said was without something like Floqast, they oftentimes had to do FLUX analysis many different times each month-end close, and it was a huge burden. So Floqast does think that accounting teams should give 2 FLUX about FLUX analysis, 1 FLUX for the balance sheet and 1 FLUX for the income statement. Now, the reason for this is because it's a useful accuracy check. If there's any abnormal fluctuations or it could be missing data, and you need to identify that sooner rather than later. So what Floqast's FLUX analysis module is doing is essentially we're allowing accounting teams to compare actuals to actuals. So they're able to customize those periods. It could be month over month, quarter over quarter, or year over year. But more importantly, we're automatically running these reports each month for the team. We're then automatically flagging and notifying team members of any material variances so that they can document the explanations in real time. And we're also automatically monitoring if any of those changes happen so that they don't have to go back and redo the entire process and find out after the fact and dig back into a prior period. The deliverable here is a nice Excel report, and it's perfect for CFOs, it's perfect for board members, it's perfect for leadership at the company to quickly identify what's happening in the company, what are these material changes, and what should I be keeping an eye out for. So to summarize here, Eric Domagalski at WP Engine, a great NetSuite Floqast joint client, is the corporate controller. He credits Floqast with helping him save 5 days off of his close. So he had a 10-day close process before Floqast. He now has a 5-day close process. He also credits Floqast with allowing his accounting team to begin working remotely. And he simply expresses how FLUX analysis has made his life so much easier when it comes to performing this process as part of the month-end close. To wrap up, Floqast has really been a rocket ship in the NetSuite ecosystem. Over 1/3 of our clients leverage Floqast and NetSuite jointly. That's hundreds of accounting teams leveraging Floqast. And these range from all different types of companies like Lyft and Twilio, all the way to Okta. One I always like to highlight is Oscar Health. Oscar Health actually holds the record at Floqast for being able to get set up in 1 day. Yes, a big reason for Floqast's success is the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, that we were created by accountants. And in short, our software is really easy for teams to begin adopting and begin getting value from very quickly. So accounting teams can be getting value from Floqast during their next close because it is a super quick setup and easy to maintain. Secondly, the big reason why we've done well in the NetSuite ecosystem is just the fact that our clients actually like us. You could see that 100% of them on G2 Crowd say that Floqast is heading in the right direction. And that's because it's not just technologists over here. It's accountants building software that actually conforms to the way accounting teams are used to working and is easy to get value from. With that, I think I'm at my 8 minutes, so I'll give it back over to the Vested Group. Thank you very much for the time.
Outstanding, Ross. You know, I was sitting here watching, and I was kind of concerned about the number of flux they were going to give coming in, but it seems that in the end there, they actually gave a couple of flux after all.
They absolutely did, Johnny, and you are on thin ice right now. Speaking of giving a flux, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how many you give by going out and voting today. Reminder, please go vote at the website you see on the screen. Go vote. All right, thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Floqast. Another great presentation. Let's see if they can continue their Cinderella run through this and knock off our next presenter, Celigo. Located in San Mateo. Johnny, do you know that San Mateo, California is also where Tom Brady is from?
Yeah, San Mateo, California, home of the famous San Mateo mayo. That's a delicious delicacy. I put it on my French toast every morning, Ross. Celigo's headquarters. Oh, Tom Brady. Actually, yes, I do know Tom Brady, the unrecognized and kind of unsung hero, 47th member of the Brady Bunch.
Nope, Johnny, that's not Tom Brady.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
All right, we'll just agree to disagree right there.
That's like, you're kind of just, that really deflates the room when you kind of walk all over my facts like that. Like, you really just took all the air out of the room saying that, like, you know, here I'm giving you these awesome facts. Tom Brady, he's the 47th member of the Brady Bunch. Everybody knows that.
Johnny, your context clues make me think you might know that that's not right, that you know who Tom Brady is, but I don't know.
I think if we were in New England, this would be illegal. And I can think about 12 other times you've done something like this to me on air. And I'm just going to, I'll get back. I'll get back.
All right. I don't know what to say about that. That makes no sense. But you know what does make sense? Celigo's integrations are made cage-free, gluten-free, and with love.
Well, that's good news for all you asthmatics out there.
Absolutely. In 2020, Celigo took the What Disney Princess Are You challenge, and they got Princess Moana.
Which is awesome, because that is the exact same one I got, and who doesn't love Aladdin? I mean, I'm talking about, you know, the magic carpet goes under the waves, you get the mermaid there, who loses her voice, and something comes along and kisses her, and she wakes up, and she's able to battle the queen and kind of regain their kingdom. Anyways, I'm just glad that they got the same one as me. That's just awesome.
Okay, moving on. Last week, our resident gymnast told us, gave us a nice jazz representation, and baby, and we had some smooth jazz played. Think about if you mix Simone Biles and Harry Giles, and you've got our next presenter for Celigo, Rico Andrade.
I am the manual process monster. I love chaos. I love data silos.
What's wrong, Terry?
Our manual process monster is growing out of control. He used to be cute and cuddly when we were small, but ever since we started adopting new applications and adding new processes lately, he's taken over our company. I love mistakes!
Oh, no.
He is the worst. He makes us manually enter out data from one application to the next, forces us to use spreadsheets and emails to send information back and forth, and doesn't allow us to understand what's happening with our business.
That's terrible.
Especially in times like these. We can't afford to make mistakes right now, and he's delayed so many of our orders, and our customers are unhappy. I love delays!
Have you tried getting rid of him with integration?
We tried, but API integrations are too hard to build and maintain. We simply can't keep up with the monster.
Oh, Terry, you need to integrate with my friend, Celigo.
Celigo? I heard great things about Celigo.
Yes, with Celigo, you can easily automate processes across thousands of applications such as NetSuite, Salesforce, Shopify, Zendesk, Amazon, ADP, HubSpot, Concur, Ariba, ServiceNow, Excel, Outlook, Gmail, EDI, 3PL, FBA, FTP, SQL, XML, Coupa, Zora, ShipStation, Greenhouse, Magento.
I use all of these.
They can connect to a lot more too. And many of these are pre-built, so you don't have to build it yourself.
But what if I need to customize my integrations?
Oh, Terry, Celigo is a complete, powerful iPaaS that allows you to do all the transformations, filterings, orchestrations, and custom code you could possibly want. And since you use NetSuite, they have over 3,000 NetSuite customers relying on them right now.
3,000 NetSuite customers? That's a lot of people relying on them. Can I integrate with them right now?
Of course. Let me call her. Celigo! Celigo! Did somebody call me?
Oh no! Manual processing! Monster hates Celigo! Ah!
See, there you go. All your systems are connected and the information is flowed seamlessly.
That was fast. Oh, Celigo, I love you. Celigo, Celigo, Celigo is the best. Celigo, Celigo, better than the rest. Get started for free right now at Celigo.com.
The end.
No, that was fantastic. Not once though was I ever actually convinced that those creatures were real. So if anybody out there, I'm pretty sure those were puppets. I would be willing to bet some money on that, at least $5.
I think that's pretty much a certainty. I don't think anybody thought that those were real creatures.
I guess the world's wisened up a little.
All right. Rico, great stuff as always, and a special shout out to Rico's family, I'm assuming. Either that or he just found some random kids in quarantine.
It's not hard to do.
Absolutely. All right, reminder, ladies and gentlemen, please go vote. I'll keep reminding you until you do it. I'll come home with you and remind you to vote until you do it. So
Ross will go home with anybody these days.
all right. Coming up next, we have another great, exciting presentation, matchup between Blue Ridge and RF Smart. First up, Blue Ridge Global. Blue Ridge boasts a customer retention rate of 97%. Now, I don't know, I guess this is the time for boasting, Johnny.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty good. I was thinking back, like, there's not one time I think I've ever scored, a 97% on just about anything I can think of. So impressive number, obviously, to say the least. Not many people can boast that.
That's probably the first sensible thing you've said in 3 weeks, Johnny.
I've only been here for this afternoon.
After implementing Blue Ridge's demand planning and inventory solutions, 99.45% of orders go untouched by the user. 99.45% untouched, Johnny.
Now they're just making numbers up at this point. I don't even think numbers go that high, so that's funny that they just put whatever they want on there.
Much like your quarantine love life, completely untouched.
Oh.
Blue Ridge Global provides the most precise and profit-focused demand planning and inventory optimization solutions in the industry, specifically designed for wholesalers, distributors, retailers, and light manufacturers. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, again, for Blue Ridge Global, Brandon Burgundy. Burgundy's back! Sven Anupu and Mike Mills. Take it away, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. I'm Brandon Burgundy. We interrupt our regular scheduled program with an important announcement. Blue Ridge has created a way for purchasing departments to buy inventory at the economic sweet spot for every replenishment order they place and every order and every supplier they deal with. It's making headlines, so we had to go behind the scenes of Blue Ridge's order cycle optimization tool. What's that, Baxter? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please. Oh, how does it work? Okay, I can tell you how it works. Well, think of your grocery routine. You make the same trip every week for 1 pound of dog food. All of a sudden, your system alerts you that you can cut annual costs 60% by buying 2 bags every other week, and you had no idea. In that same system, you can run a quick analysis on what you'd save by ordering 3, 4, or 5 bags of dog food all at once, because the price is going to go up soon. The software quantifies savings for various scenarios and shows you the most profitable option in seconds. Now imagine this on a macro scale. That's order cycle optimization from Blue Ridge. My buddy Sven here is going to show you how this saves customers millions on average within the first 90 days of go live.
That's right, Mr. Burgundy. Most companies are flying blind when it comes to replenishment. You know, they order on a fixed cycle, usually once a week. When we tell them they can pinpoint an optimal order cycle for a certain vendor or product, in just a few clicks, they're blown away by the money that they can leave on the table.
Look at these results. In Brandon Burgundy's world, the headline reads, NetSuite customers can't live without Blue Ridge order cycle optimization. Man, I am impressed. Is this how you pick up the ladies?
Well, that's how I picked up your mother, Dorothy Mantooth. Took her out for a delicious seafood dinner, and then, never called her again.
Great Knights of Columbus, that hurts.
No, seriously. Most buyers have no idea that the acquisition and the receiving costs can be far more deadly than the carrying costs. They focus on quick turns, but the real value is in knowing your numbers. Blue Ridge recommends when and what to buy, according to what's best for your bottom line versus what the supplier tells you to do. The system can also map out the most efficient ways to move inventory from a distribution center to the store, freeing up massive amounts of cash. And here, I'm illustrating, we're showing you the order cycle optimization page, where if you'll notice across the top, we have a number of different order cycles that the system is recommending. These are in order of the lowest cost to the most expensive, giving you the 5 most profitable or the lowest cost order cycles. The buyer is using a 7-day order cycle right here. Now, we can go ahead and see that each of these numbers, each of these quantities are actually matched up to a specific cost. Let's look at that a little bit closer. The supplier order cycle, this is how frequently the buyer orders, in this case, 7 days or 52 times a year, results in approximately $90,000 worth of purchases that are made in the course of a year. That's also associated with a $1,300 annual cost for cutting those 52 POs. We have to receive it 52 times, that's another $660. There's a cycle stock carrying cost. This is the cost associated with the turn inventory. And then we're also looking at the carrying cost for the safety stock that is included for the 7-day order cycle. We'll take into consideration any annualized brackets, savings, or discounts to give you that net cost. In this case, the net cost over a year is just a little bit over $3,300. Now, looking back at the order cycle optimization, we can see that the system is recommending 21 days. We bring over the 7 days that the buyer is looking at, we can see that the annualized cost is the same as it should be. The order header cost is significantly less because we're ordering fewer times in the year, as is the order line cost. We're receiving fewer times during the year. The cycle stock does increase because we're carrying more inventory, but the carrying cost for safety stock is actually lower because we need less safety stock. Now, this total order of $5,200 actually allows you to go ahead and meet or take advantage of a discount bracket, in this case, 1%. Annualized, that's another $906 in savings. So what we need to do is actually look at what the net cost is, $2,100 versus the $300, and we see that we have a savings over the year of about $1,198. Now, another sweet feature that Blue Ridge customers love is our forward buy simulations. And I almost stole his thunder, but I'll stop right there because he did such a great job last week explaining forecast accuracy. even under the pressure of an angry panda. Mike, take it away.
Thank you, Sven. That was a really cool tool, that order cycle optimization. And you're absolutely right. I'm going to show you another really cool tool, and that is called the real-time forward buy tool. This tool allows us to run what-if scenarios in order to analyze if a deal or an incentive that we get from the supplier to buy more, or an opportunity buy, or some people call it an investment buy, whether it's a profitable one or not. Now, these deals can come in forms. It can be a price increase that's coming my way. In other words, today I buy a certain item for $1. If tomorrow, I'll pay $1.10. Many businesses are dealing with tariffs. So how much inventory should I buy for it ahead of the tariffs? Or this tool can also help me to analyze if the discount that I'm getting from my supplier is a real good one, if I have to buy within a certain period of time. So this tool allows me to analyze the profitability of any one of those incentives. So I'm on an order summary screen for this supplier, and you can see I could start the forward buy simulation by selecting forward buy simulation at the bottom of the screen. Now, once I select that, it brings up this screen, and it allows me to run this simulation on all of the items from the supplier. He might be offering me a discount or a price increase that's coming on all of the items, or it could be some of the items. The simulation type in this example would be discount. The discount type would be a percentage off in this example. And the amount of the percentage is 10%. I also could have been offered extra days to pay. You get 10% and additional 30 days to pay or 60 days to pay. So once I'm done setting this up, then I simply hit run. And when I run it, the system comes back and shows me all of the items that it's suggesting that I buy, along with the extra days or forward buy days that it's recommending. And those forward buy days converted into forward buy units. It also shows me what my new suggested order quantity would be if I took advantage of this. Shows me the total purchase price. And more importantly, what is the incremental profit that I stand to make by taking advantage of this 10% discount? So in this example, I stand to make about $4,000 with this particular discount. Now, if you like it, you can approve the simulation, and the system records that as a deal. And when we buy the inventory, it layers that inventory as deal inventory as well. So that's just another strategic tool for the investment buyer toolkit that Blue Ridge provides. All right, let's check back in with Mr. Bergen in the studio, because I think he has some exciting news for the NetSuite customer base.
Mike, yes, I do. I'm going to put it out there, and if you like it, you can take it. If you don't, send it right back. A free 90-day trial plus half-priced implementation. I'm not growing this itchy mustache for nothing, so you get off your hiney and vote for Blue Ridge. I'm Brandon Burgundy. Stay classy.
Classy as always, gentlemen. Great stuff.
Yeah, that presentation week to week keeps changing, but that mustache stays the same. It's just incredible.
It is glorious. Like we said, ladies and gentlemen, I demand that you plan on going and voting for these teams.
We will find you.
Go vote.
Vote.
Finally, coming up today in our last matchup of the finale 4, that's French, we have RF Smart. Johnny, do you know that you can see RF Smart in action in Season 3, Episode 6 of Very Cavallari?
I freaking love a nice dish of fried cavallari. I'm talking put a little lemon marinara on there, a delicious Italian dish.
Sure, okay. But did you know that RF Smart is actually an acronym? You might think that it stands for really freaking smart.
No, actually, no, the F is different. It actually stands for really.
Nope, Johnny, it does not. It stands for Radio Frequency System for Material and Resource Tracking. That's a good acronym.
And you want to lie to people, that's fine.
Our presenters today, as always, Dathan Goff and Seth King. Dathan knows a guy that knows Kevin Bacon. He is 1 degree separated from Kevin Bacon. He also thinks that orange crayons taste the best.
Who can disagree with that? Nothing like a fresh, robust blast of peach and tangerine to start your day.
He's also a published poet.
That is quite the accomplishment. I mean, you go out there, you got people that are making words rhyme on time in lines, and it sounds fine. Some people are poets, and they don't even realize it, Ross.
Good stuff, Johnny. Good stuff as always. Also today, Seth King, he does not eat crayons.
Oh, wow. Someone's got a refined palate here.
Absolutely.
Oh, good for you, Seth.
Quite the brag, Seth. He can also ride a unicycle.
Just Spanish for one bicycle.
It is not. He knows a guy that knows a guy that knows Kevin Bacon.
Should link him up with Dathan. That would give him 2 guys.
I'm going to guess that is Dathan, but to each his own. He was a twin.
We both came from octuplets, so we got about 6 on him each.
Absolutely, we did. And before RF Smart, he sold fish.
That's where I recognize him from. Most of you might know Seth. His last name was Austinopoulos, but he changed it to King when he was the king of the black market for selling illegal orcas. You actually could see him on the Netflix documentary Blackfish. It's nice to see he's getting a new fresh start here at RF Smart.
Joining our bromance of Dathan and Seth, we have a third guest, Sarah Archer, who likes to be called Sarah on the Street.
Let's hope that Sarah Yoko here doesn't come in here and break up this band. I want to see some soft hands.
Absolutely. I don't think anything can break up these people. Today for RF Smart, Dathan Goff, Seth King, and Sarah on the Street. Take it away, folks.
Street Sarah.
Dathan, is there anything you want to tell me?
No, not that I know of.
Nothing you want to get off your chest?
I've been meaning to talk to you about it, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. So last week I caught Casey selling toilet paper out of the back of the warehouse, but that's been handled.
Yeah, everybody knows about Casey. That's not what I'm talking about.
Then I don't know. Maybe I didn't tell you that Rob Gronkowski got traded down to Tampa? I don't know.
I'm talking about this.
Oh, that's nothing, Seth. That's just a little side project I've been working on.
Really, as seen on Tournament of Champions? Didn't we talk about this, right? Last week you tried to drop an album. This week you're launching a skincare line?
Calm down. There's nothing to be mad about.
I guess if there's any good news in this, it's that you have a 4.5-star rating on Google.
Whoa. I didn't even know. I don't check Google. I don't even know how to spell it, much less check it. So that's good, I guess.
Yeah, let's look at a couple of these.
Okay.
Chris from the Vesta Group said, I used to wear glasses, but then I got some of this in my eyes by accident, and now I have 20/20 vision.
Congratulations, Chris.
Adam from NetGain said, I lost to RF Smart in round 2 of Tournament of Champions, but then I found soft hands, and now I feel like a winner.
Well, if he bought a bottle, it's clear that he is a winner.
And then Ross from the Vesta Group said, I might not be Kim Kardashian, but soft hands, that's as close as it gets.
So this is touchy, right? So when we did the trial experiments and so forth, we did find that some of the patients did end up with a bit of a pear shape. So Ross, for better or worse, thank you.
So you'll notice you have a 4.5 out of 5, and I know you don't get on Google a lot, but that means...
These are all 5 stars.
Yeah, but 3 5 stars doesn't equal 5 out of 5 as an overall rating. Let me tell you how Google reviews work. You got some bad reviews too, Dathan. Brandon Burgundy from Blue Ridge, it smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.
Look, Brandon, he's got a bit of a premonition, and we know who has premonitions, right? He knows he's going to lose this week. That's all there is to it.
That's a big word for you, premonition.
Yeah. Well, I can't spell it, but I can say it.
Rigo from Celigo. This is literally the only bit these guys have. I don't even know what that's referring to be honest.
he feels like he's seeing the future, you know, just like Brandon this week. He's upset. He's making these negative reviews. Rico's doing the same thing. This, to me, feels like spoken word. Enough said, right? The big thing for me, Seth, I just want to know, are you mad?
Am I mad? Am I mad? Well, I'll tell you this. I came in to find out you launched a new subsidiary in NetSuite, right? Dropped all our financial information in there, connected it to an e-commerce platform, but then I saw 4,000 orders and was like, hello. My biggest concern, though, Dathan, I don't know how we're going to get all these orders out the door. Our warehouse is set up to fulfill huge orders to huge distribution centers, not small direct-to-consumer business.
Don't worry about it. Seth, I got this, man. Pick Planner is so much more than just on picking. So one of the big things about it, and probably the most popular thing that our customers use it for, is the ability to pick multiple orders in one pass to the warehouse. So think of that. Instead of taking one order and splitting it amongst multiple people, it's taking multiple orders and combining them down on one person. So the other beautiful thing about it is I can keep it separated. So yeah, I mean, if I'm thinking what you're thinking right now, I'm thinking that, hey, the people at the packing station, this is not going to be good for them. It's going to slow the process. There's going to be a new bottleneck in the system. But that's not the case, because as I go through and users go through and pick products for these multiple orders, they can keep it separated through using totes.
That was a lot of talking. I was actually thinking it's called soft hands, and this person's got it all over their face.
Well, it could be a facial cream. There's no denying it's an amazing product. Everyone, but
all right, just tell me what you did, right? Just show me what you've worked up.
Yeah, let's jump into it. So here we are. We're at the pick task. Notice, I've ran these tasks already. And if you look around at the bottom specifically, you'll see there's 4 lines to this thing. But there's 2 different orders. How does that happen? Pick Planner. It's amazing. So here we go. We're going to run through it from a mobile perspective. I'm going to explain to you how it's going to work. We're going to go down to the task picking function. Go into it. We're going to select this. But as we do, notice on the right side, there's 2 orders associated to this, and there's 4 lines. So we're going to go into it. The first thing we need to do is to tell it we're going to grab 2 totes. We need to go up to them and scan them. Here we go. First tote, scan it, tote 7. Second tote, tote 8. We've got them. They're on our cart. We're going to walk out through the warehouse now. So on the mobile device, it's going to direct me and tell me where to go. So as I get to the first bin, I'm going to scan it, beep. Get to this screen, it's going to ask me for the item. So notice there's 2 lines here. So this represents the 2 different orders, essentially.
Whoa. So you're telling me that you changed our entire pick planner configuration to go from splitting one order up across multiple people picking to now one person picking multiple orders?
Yeah, I mean, Seth, it's not that difficult. Look at it. It's telling you right here, one order needs 2 and the other order needs 5. So let's grab them. So let's scan the item. Now we're going to grab those 2. We put the 2 in, we go next. Now it tells me which tote to put it in. So the tote is the order. So we've put it in there. So now we're going to bounce back, and this nice feature of our Smart is lowest level looping. I don't have to scan the bin and the item again. I just need to tell it I'm grabbing 5 more. So I'll grab those. As I grab those 5, it's going to tell me which tote to put those in. Notice this, tote 8. It's a different tote.
What type of person orders 5 bottles of this stuff?
An amazing person, someone who has vision, can see into the future that this is going to work magic. It's going to do amazing things for them. And they want to change their life. Maybe they have 5 members of their family, Seth. You don't know. We don't know. We don't care.
Hold on. Before we ship any of this stuff out of my facility, please tell me you've got FDA clearance on this stuff.
Yeah, of course. It's not. I mean, the Fire Departments of America has approved it. Yeah. I mean, it's not flammable. What else can I say? Shut up. Let's go on. Let's go pick the second item. So notice the first order we looked at before had a couple of other items that we sell on it. This little Tweezerman kit. I mean, who cares? Let's do some tweezers. They're going to grab one of those. They're going to put it in there. They're going to scan that item, tell it they're going to grab one. Notice it tells them which tote to put it into. Now, this next person, they obviously have horses because it tells them go grab some dry brushes. They'll scan it, put in the quantity of 1, and now, here they go. Put it in tote 7. Once they've picked all of the items, so remember, we've done 4 lines here, and that's how many were on both of those orders. It's going to tell us where to stage it. All right. So now that we've picked everything, we'll go ahead and stage it. So let's hit the complete button, and it's telling me where to stage these items. So what's happening is we need to take it to a packing station. So if you look down, this is my favorite part. You'll see there's a couple of little totes down there. One of them's full of 5 of these bottles of Soft Hands by Dathan. That's my favorite customer. The only one who's my favorite more than this person is the person who ordered 6, and so forth. But now at the packing station, the person who's packing these orders and shipping them out doesn't have to go through and figure out which items go with which, because we've already got them separated. So let's look at it from the backside of it from NetSuite.
So it looks like the way you configured this thing, so once the task was completed, it actually created a fulfillment record for both orders. When in the world did you have time to do any of this? And where are you even making this stuff?
Well, it all started in my bathtub, Seth. But we're not going to talk about it.
Where did it end?
In the bathtub. We just won't talk anymore about it. All I know is that it's an amazing product. And honestly, I've been thinking about the future. I don't even care. So you have questions, and I know you care about those questions, but really, all we care about is the future and a sustainable business. So I've been thinking about how to make this business go on for a long time. And I think the first place we start is with commercial. So I've taken some initiative, and we've built a commercial, and let's go ahead and take some time to air that for the viewers today.
Well, the first place you started was with the Fire Department of America.
Well, that's FDA. I mean, it's the Fire Department of America.
Do you struggle with rough, dry hands? Do people ever say that a handshake from you feels like they're petting a porcupine? Are you concerned that the weird lack of moisture in your hands is the reason you have no friends? Well, that's almost certainly not the only reason, but we have a solution. Soft Hands by Dathan. You can say goodbye to covering your hands with gloves and shame and say hello by extending your hand in a handshake like a normal person. Side effects of Soft Hands by Dathan may include nausea, vomiting, irritability, anxiousness, mood changes, hair loss, weight gain, weight loss, constipation, sneezing, itchy or watery eyes, skin rash or dermatitis, diarrhea, dizziness, drowsiness, hallucinations, memory loss, blood clots, compulsive behavior, dry mouth, feline tendencies, headache, and a thick, rich Uncle Pennybag style mustache. Do not use Soft Hands by Dathan if you are pregnant or may become pregnant. Consult a doctor if you experience skin loss, bleeding, insomnia, or a strong southern accent. In rare cases, Soft Hands by Dathan has been known to cause heart palpitations, chirophobia, and the inability to take anything seriously. Soft Hands by Dathan cannot be combined with other drugs and is fatal if combined with Jack Daniels. Please consult a doctor before use. Soft Hands by Dathan, because your hands are the window to your soul.
Outstanding.
Great stuff again from RF Smart. Dathan, I would just like to thank you personally for my soft hands that you sent. I do have every single one of those conditions that you noticed, but I'll be damned if it's not worth having the smoothest, softest hands in the business, just like my man Dathan.
I'm looking forward to the new flavors coming out. When I saw this product go live on Google, I knew I had to have it right away, Ross. I actually ordered myself a 55-gallon drum. Now, what you do is if you already have soft hands like me, because I've been using this product for a while, and you can't really see the greatness of it, you take a little bit of that bad boys, you lather it up on your retinas like a couple of tuna steaks, and you'll be having premonitions in no time.
Oh, do not put that on your eyes.
Oh, Ross, it hurts! It burns!
Well, Johnny is blind. RF Smart, you can be looking for another 5-star review. Those eyes are smooth as those hands. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a wonderful time today. Thanks again to our 4 presenters, Floqast, Celigo, Blue Ridge, and RF Smart. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that this has been a lot of time, and we thank you for your presentations, for your preparation, and for your level of excitement to do this. We have only 1 week left, Johnny.
1 week.
1 week left till we crown our champion, the world champion, first time of the NetSuite Tournament Partner of Champions, presented by the Vesta Group.
And they'll get 2 round-trip tickets, all expenses paid. To Nope. Okay,
No.
we're not doing that?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Nope. But you know what they will get? Our love and adoration, and I think, Johnny, that's enough.
Oh, it's enough for me.
Absolutely. Everybody else out there watching, we remind you, please go vote. Give some validation to these people. Clearly, they need it. Go vote for the Tournament of Champions winner, and we will see you next week. for the final round, the top two, 1 versus 1, mono e mono. See you next week.
You illuminate me in the night, and I'm careful all this time to keep a watchful eye. You came for me, you lovely thief, you stole my mind. As soon as I look back, where